Alright guys, so Melissa coming to you from the Orchid Pergola, and I have a little dilemma. So the good part, my mother's orchid, now my orchid, she has a name. Her name is Nobile's Amber, and I'll tell you the cross later, or I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. But here's the thing, we have the Boca Orchid Society show coming up this weekend, and I have a chance to bring her in to get her judged by the American Orchid Society. So this is heavy. This plant weighs, I think, over 100 pounds. She's in clay, she's in lava rock, and some orchiata, and it's just a big ball of roots. So I'm nervous. Ooh. I'm nervous, and I want to make it happen more than anything. I really want to make this happen. I hope that I can somehow, when the day comes, not today. Today I'm just pondering, but when the day comes, I want to see how I get her in the car and drive her for an hour or so to Boca. I've never done any kind of entering into the for judging or anything like that. I've never done it, so I'm a little worried, I'm concerned, I'm scared for her. I have to leave her all weekend, so I have to drop her off Friday after school, after work. You know, I have to drop her off Friday, and then I have to pick her up Sunday after. So what I would do is hopefully drive up there and hopefully find some nice Samaritans that might help me put her into my beach wagon, and get her into the building, and then we'll see what happens. So of course I plan to give you updates and videos as much as I can and see what happens, and I'm going to cross my fingers. I want you all to cross your fingers, and I hope that this works out. I'm going to give her a nice little cleaning tomorrow, clean up all her leaves. I mean, there are a lot of leaves to clean, but I always think orchids look so much better when they have nice and shiny leaves. Now I don't have that hard water, so not a lot of them are, you know, with that calcium whatever, but still I want her to look her best. I want her to be dressed up. Most of all the buds are open. I still have a few, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, I mean there's still like 20 left to open, which would make this orchid have 100 blooms. I have never seen anything like it. I took her from my mom's house, she gave her to me, which basically she was on a survive on neglect kind of situation, which, I mean, kudos to my mom for keeping it alive for over, I don't know, she bought it and she's had it for 42 years. But when you buy it, it's already been what, like 5 years alive, because, you know, from that to blooming size, right? So this plant, this orchid could be 50 years old. I treat her like the queen. She's the queen of my pergola. She's in the perfect spot to get the perfect amount of light. And you can obviously, to look at the front, full with flowers. The back has some, but not as much. So this is right here at the edge of the pergola is the perfect spot for her. So I'm telling you, I really I want to make this happen. I want you guys to come with me on this journey. And if you've done it before, leave me any comments. I mean, by now, by the time you see the video, it's probably already after the fact. But still, I'd love to hear any pointers for the next time, because if this goes well, I know I'm going to get hooked on this judging and award thing. So let's see what happens. I'm nervous. I don't want her to get damaged. That's number one. I don't know. She's going to be alone in a place by herself. Hopefully nobody touches her. My worst fear is I can't lift her to move her to get her in, and I'll get to the place in Boca and I'll be like in the car and I can't get her down, and then I'll be too late. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm so excited, but I'm very nervous. I have butterflies, and I hope for the best. So wish me luck. Ooh, it's sunny. Hi guys, it's Melissa. This is part 2 of my adventures with my specimen, very large orchid that was given to me as a gift. So this is part 2. You already saw part 1, so you know that we're going to continue this. So I was contemplating entering her into a show that's coming up, and I have made my decision. I'm gonna go for it, so I'm really excited. And I wanted to share with you some things that I'm learning, because anytime that I learn something, I want to share that with you guys. Some of you may already know, so if you know the process on how to take your plant in for judging, I would love for you to share your tips here so that other people can, you know, be able to listen to those tips and maybe one day feel encouraged to do so. Why am I feeling like I may be able to do this? Because my good friend Wendy was the first one who said, you know what, why don't you do it? I mean, it's not going to be an easy feat. I know it's going to be difficult. I know I'm already nervous about it, because I feel like I don't want it to get hurt, and it's very big and it's heavy. And someone had asked me, you have more pieces of that same huge plant, how could that be? This plant would actually be more than double of all of this, because she's actually been divided a lot of times. So quick little storytelling moment. This was my mom's plant. I think that my father bought it for her in 1984, I believe it was. There was a conference, and I actually reached out to Bart Motes to find out, because my mom was kind of giving me an idea of where she bought it, and it was a conference that happened in Coconut Grove in Miami. So if you're familiar with the area, you may know in Coconut Grove there was an Orchid International Conference. That's what they called it. They had a show, a sale kind of thing. The same thing as Tamiami, kind of, but it was probably at a much smaller scale, I'm guessing. So I actually reached out to Bart Motes, and I asked him to confirm the dates so that I had my dates right, because I asked my mom and she was, you know, kind of piecing it together. So I believe it was in 1984 when she bought this. So if she bought this in 1984, she said it had a few flowers, maybe like 4 or 5, and that it was, you know, normal size like other ones that I have. Let me see. This is probably even too big. So normal size, I mean, you know, this was bigger. This one already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one has 9 blooms. She said it had like 4 or 5. So on each little bloom stalk, this has like 4 or 5. So I'm guessing maybe it had 1 bloom stalk and maybe like 5 flowers on it when she first bought it. She bought it for $45, and at that moment she thought, wow, this is very expensive. So I know that back in the day, orchids were really, really expensive. They were used by royalty. They were used by women in high society as, you know, kind of like how we use fancy designer bags now, to kind of a show of status, a show of whatever. So they were even more expensive. But I think that in 1984, the Cattleyas became more readily available at these shows, and she just remembers thinking that 45 was a lot. Right now, 45 for a big size Cattleya is normal price, I would say. But in any case, 1984 is my date. And then she bought it in bloom, so she must have bought it around this time. This is the time that they have the Tamiami Orchid Festival. So a lot of the dates coincide and are seeming to match well. The other thing she remembered was that the seller wasn't from Miami. The seller was from Hawaii. So Hawaii. And it makes sense because her name being RTH Nobiles Amber. And I think I'm pronouncing it, I'm not sure, because I know that when you have a dendrobium, some people do say nobile, some people say nobile, whatever, tomato. But I did seem to research a little bit, and it did show me some kind of Latin background origin of the word, which would lean more towards nobile. So that's what I'm going to say. But this is different. This is not a dendrobium, obviously. So do you pronounce it noble? It has an apostrophe S, which makes me think that nobiles or nobiles was maybe somebody's name somewhere. I have to keep digging a little deeper, because it has that apostrophe S showing that it's, you know, possessive. Anyways, this is not a grammar lesson. Sorry. Let's move on to what I really wanted to share, which was I got encouragement from my friend Wendy. And that's when I started to ask questions, and she started to help me out because she has done this process before and she has won many ribbons and awards. And I thought, okay, I need pointers. It's my first time. So the first thing that I learned that she told me was they need to see it nicely presented. Any way that you can make it, spruce it up. If it's in an ugly pot, you might want to change, or maybe drop it into a bigger pot that it will be nice looking. Because imagine, they're going to put it on a table, they might put it on a pedestal, so they're going to see it from the bottom. If it's really ugly, or maybe an old basket, you might want to take moss and put something around it to cover it up. You might just stick the whole basket in a big pot and then cover it up with that green looking moss for arrangements, whatever it is. It's just meant to dress it. Like if you're going to a party, you're going to dress up, so you want to dress up a plant. You're also going to clean up, right? You're going to clean up, you're going to be nice and tidy and clean and hopefully look presentable. So that's the other thing that she told me. Cleaning up the leaves is really important. They don't want to go and see stains. Like this one is not clean, so you might see that the leaves have some watermarks, whatever have you. Now, this is the other thing. If it has some old pseudobulbs that are dried up. I was looking at mine, and deep down in the middle, she did have some of these. So if your plant has some old dried up pseudobulbs, no green left in them, you know that they're empty. Look, there's nothing there. You might want to cut those down, make it look as nice as it can, okay? The other thing is, if you have some empty sheaths and things like that you can easily peel away, anything you can do to make it look cleaner, nice and neat and tidy, okay? The other thing is staking. So the more they can see, the better. Now, I put one stake, and it's okay, but I'm going to have to get 30 stakes to be able to fix all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some supplies with me. I'm going to go very early when I drop her off, which is on Friday at 3 o'clock. I think they open from 3 to 6 for drop off. So I'm going to try to get there early. I'm going to try to bring supplies, and I'm going to get more information from the society so they can tell me a little bit more of what I can do or what I should do. Because sometimes, you know, they look nice like this. You don't want to have them all like this. I don't know. I'm learning, and I'm thinking that there's some that are completely drooping down, and it, you know, like for this one, if I was taking this one, which I'm not, this is another piece, I would find a way to get this higher. See, put some sticks, definitely clean up in here, maybe put some moss or something, and just make this as nice as I can. Obviously this one got a little sunburn, and she's not going to the party this time. Sorry, maybe next time. So that's that. But if you have anything that's old, you might want to trim that. Take off any dried up sheaths. Okay? So if it's in a basket like this, you can put some Spanish moss around here. Whatever you can to make it look more presentable. You may want to take off this wire, so it doesn't look like you just took it off with a hanger and brought her like that. You may want to take off the wire, or put some moss on it, something to make it look presentable. Something else you need to know: you need to have it timed with the bloom show. That's why I decided I was going to bring her in, because this is the perfect timing. She is not even finished opening all her buds. As you can see, there's 2, 4 over here, 5 over there. I mean, she's still opening up. So I think in a couple days from now, which is when I have to take her, she'll be in perfect timing to hopefully make a big show. And I'm not expecting to win, because I've never done it before. You know, I've never done it. I don't really know what it takes. I'm still kind of in the dark. I have some pointers, but I don't know. So basically, I'm not expecting to win. I'm just expecting to get a good experience and learn, bring the experience to you guys, because I am going to film a little bit if I can, if they let me. And then, you know, hopefully for the next time, I'll know more of what to do. And maybe when Redlands comes around, I can find another orchid that'll be in bloom, and maybe, who knows, maybe this will be the start of a new kind of collection. So I collect the orchids and I want to collect the ribbon. Who knows? I know my friend Justine does the a lot of the going for judging and all that. So maybe I'll reach out to her and see if I can get some tips also from her. So next, what else did I learn? Oh, okay, so if you wanted to know where to get your orchid judged, you can bring it to an official show where they have judges from the AOS, or you can go to an AOS affiliate ceremony that they have, or, you know, judging, or an outreach judging event. So those are the 3 things I found on the internet, in case you don't know. So a lot of the big shows that we have here in Miami, I'm very lucky, that's going on regardless. So I don't have to go to faraway places or anything. Usually we have many shows in Miami. Thank you. I'm very lucky for that. And there's AOS judging at all these events. Okay. The other thing, you need to have a proper label. So this plant has the proper label way down deep inside. I cannot. There's no way. It probably disintegrated by now. That plant ate her previous pot. Yes, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm going to see if I can find the footage. I didn't post that video, guys. I know I said I'm going to post the repotting, and I'm going to try to put together something for you to see it. Last year, when I got it from my mom, and she gave it to me, and she gave it to me in a, let's see, it was a kind of pot that it looked like a bowl, and it had a plastic hanger. Obviously, the plastic hanger wasn't surviving, so the bottom part was also cracked in a bunch of places. So she ate with all her roots and all her suitables, pretty much engulfed that pot, that plastic pot. And I basically, all I had to do was peel it away, and the pot was disintegrating. And then I had a lot of questions about what did I put her in, because she was coming, I believe my mom had her in moss. I believe, because I think she was told moss. She put her in moss. So she had some kind of moss, and then she had some kind of bark. I would never do that, but who knows? Hey, apparently it worked for her. But she was also very careful with the watering. She did not do crazy watering. This plant, oh my gosh, what was that? This plant, I call her Big Mama, was basically, it was a thrive upon neglect kind of situation, where she was under a tree with a lot of shade, maybe more shade than I have my cats, and she was given water when it rained. So, you know, kind of naturally, which, you know, sometimes I guess that works. For me, that's not how I take care of my orchids. I'm, you know, a little bit more meticulous. I do my water therapy. Oh my goodness! Get away! No, don't go in my pergola! Oh my gosh. Okay, so why not keep it rolling and keep it fun? You have to see what just went into my pergola, like if it lives here. It ran right past me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna scream. It looks like a lizard that is green and blue and has that weird tongue. Oh my gosh, where is it? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry guys in advance if I scream, but oh my goodness. Maybe I should bring the hose as my weapon of choice. Shh, shh, shh. Where are you? Where are you? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm freaking out. I'm normally not like scared of lizards, but this one was so big. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to the front of the pergola and just continue. Hopefully she doesn't run in my direction. Oh my goodness. Whew. Where did it go? Please tell me it went out. Okay, I don't see it right now. If it comes out, okay. Let me think that she just ran out the back. Maybe she just ran out the back. Okay, let's get back to our conversation. No, I hear her. She is back there. Okay, I'm gonna go get my son so that I can relax and continue. Oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't think she was gonna walk right by me. It was like this big. I'm gonna find a picture on Google and show you what it was, because I've seen her before. I say her, I don't know, but I think they live in my yard. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me continue. Let me focus and continue. If you hear noise, let me know. I wish this was alive. It would have been so much fun. Anyways, the next thing you need to enter your plant into a show is the proper label. The proper label. So, I know I'm scared. I shouldn't be scared. It's probably more scared of me. Let me think about it. It's probably more scared of me. I'm so much bigger. Anyways, you need the proper label. So you need the full official name. If it's a species, if it's a hybrid, you need the cross. So I have that. RTH, nobiles, amber. But it's not amber. It's amber with the AR at the end. So that's why I'm thinking it has to be a name or something like that. Maybe it's a mother-daughter. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. And if it is, which I'm going to keep digging, then how fitting is that? A mother-daughter kind of name. Anyways, and if it's a hybrid, you need to have the cross. So this hybrid, if you want to know, if you're interested, is Waikiki Gold crossed with Chocolate Drop. Very nice. Don't come out now and ruin the video. Okay. It needs to be free of pests, free of pests and diseases. Like obviously, if you have thrips or if you have whatever, which I don't, it's impeccable. And plus, this is one thing that I learned. I did have about 6 months ago. I did have some thrips on my vandas, and guess what? The only plant that I never saw anything on was this one. Maybe because she's so old, she is more resistant, stronger to pests and diseases. When it rained a ton, this one didn't have a drop of anything. The only thing that got her, not in my possession, but the only thing that got her a little bit is this division got sunburned, as you can see. That's the only thing, but it didn't stop her from blooming. So I'm really excited. This one, you will see her in a very old video where I explained my mom gave me this plant. It's probably like 30, I didn't even know. I was guessing. It's probably like 30 years old. And then I noticed that she started to get black rot. And normally, you guys know, when you have black rot, it is quick. It is days before it overcomes your whole plant and your plant goes down, leaf by leaf by leaf. Like I have seen a whole cattleya go down with 7 pseudobulbs in a matter of 4 days. So it's an act quickly, do it fast, cut leaves off, spray, take it out of the medium, all that stuff. Can you give me 1 second? Because I'm going to forget what I'm saying. I'm videoing, see? So then...
Wait. Let me try to...
She wants to have chocolate milk. That's all it was. And by the way, there's a big lizard that just came out.
Where?
Right around me. It just walked right by me. I screamed. I don't know if you heard me, but it might come out. So I'm just warning you. I would be careful. Anyways, so the point that I was saying, these plants that have been, I guess, living for so many years, I guess have a stronger resistance, which to me, it's making me feel like I definitely want to get my hands on, I guess, more specimen-sized plants because they're like indestructible. they're indestructible. I've never seen anything like it. Whatever plagues any plants, whether it be bacteria, fungus, or pests, doesn't come close. And her leaves are hard. You know, you could
How
tell.
about that big one?
Yes, her too.
Well, but why did that?
So this one was given to my mom gave her in moss, and I started to see the black rot. And long story short, I started cutting pieces off. I think I had to cut like 5 pseudobulbs completely off. I sprayed her. I ripped her out of this basket, which in hindsight I should have changed the basket. But I sprayed the basket. The basket seems fine, and I put her back only with lava rock. I know I'm showing her, but I don't think you can see. She only has lava rock in there. And then what? She grew a whole new section. She bloomed shortly after. She's nonstop growing, and she's fine now, and she totally recovered. I don't have any other plants that got nasty black rot and have recovered. I don't have any. The ones that got it badly, especially when I was a newbie, those did not make it, unfortunately. I mean, I don't have a lot, but still, they didn't make it at all. And I tried to cut pieces, I tried to spray, I put the fungicide and all that stuff, and c'est la vie, but not her. So I'm starting to feel like going big, going old is the way to go. Maybe divisions better than small, but I love my bag baby, so we're gonna do both. Anyways, the proper label, species or hybrid, and if it's a hybrid, you need the cross for your pests. And you have, so that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you all of the pieces. I'm going to turn this around to show you carefully all of the pieces of this plant. And like I was telling you before, I'm really loving the fact that nothing will get her. I feel like she's indestructible. We had a time before I had the plastic over my pergola that the water was just coming in, and it was a rainy season, a very heavy rainy season here in Miami, and I lost a handful of cats. And they were potted in big pots, not these. These are my favorite, not in those. The ones that were potted in the regular Home Depot ones, those couldn't be saved, I guess, because, you know, they were probably too deep. I don't know. It's my first batch. My first batch is, you know, the ones that got the rot are done with. Like, they went so fast, it was scary. I was, oh my goodness, not her. And she was in the middle of it. And even before I repotted her, she got wet like that. And it's almost like they have a superpower. And I'm very excited to take her and see what the judges think. But yeah, that's why I am really enjoying this moment. So let me know if you have any tips that maybe even if it'll be too late for me, someone else can read the comments and learn from it and go to the next show and enter. And who knows? So I hope I impressed the judges. It's going to be a big feat. I had to order a special dolly cart to bring her in because she doesn't even fit nicely on my beach wagon, because I'll tell you why. The sides of the beach wagon will basically be hitting the blooms. And we tried to pick her up, put her in there, and that wasn't happening. So we're going to do this in a couple of days, and I have to leave her there. I have to leave her on Friday. She has to stay Saturday, and Sunday evening I get to pick her up and see if I won anything, or maybe an honorable mention, or who knows. But I'm glad you guys are coming along. I want to turn it around and show you the parts, and maybe later on I'll count the blooms because I think it's spectacular. And that's it for now. This is part 2. I will see you guys later. All right, guys, so here she is. I have to step back, and in the pieces that I have, like I said, there's a lot of other divisions that were taken, and my mom gave her to family members, to friends, and who knows whether they have them still or not. But this is one piece, pretty big. This is the one that was in trouble and was saved. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pseudobulbs. So not bad. And then she's gonna bloom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blooms on this one. Let's go to the second largest. This is the second largest. She was in my mom's possession just recently, but unfortunately she was put out in the rain to get some sun, some rain actually, and she got some sun. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blooms. Oh, and we have some more coming out here, and that looks promising back there. Not bad. And pseudobulbs, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and one that looks dead, so I'm not gonna count it, but not bad. And then this is my other division, which is pretty big. I have her completely in a spot where I can control the water because she does have moss. And although she was given to me with that one, this one got the rot and this one didn't. I don't know why. This one got a little bit of sunburn, but in there deep down I know that there's some moss, so I have to be very careful with her. She's big. I'm not gonna count, guys. She's really big. So she has this bloom spike, she's got this bloom spike, and she's got this bloom spike. So that's pretty nice, pretty showy. For some reason she is all leaning towards one side of the basket, coming out of one side, a little lopsided. And then Big Mama over here. So I did a preliminary cleaning of the leaves. I'm going to try to clean them some more. I still have buds yet to go. So that's it. That is it. This is all the parts that I have. And so when they first open, I want to show you the difference because it's a really, let me see if there's one that is just starting to open. So this one is just starting to open. So if you see, it gets the color as it goes. It starts off almost yellow. In some of the pictures, it looks like it's brown. So it starts off almost yellow. And then it gets this rich and waxy, shiny, strong leaves. Okay, with a little bit of splash. And the deep, deep magenta, hot pink, fuchsia, whatever you want to call it, labellum. Frilly, pretty. So it kind of does a color changing situation. When it's almost done, okay, when it's almost done, then you can see the color lighten up again, and then mostly, this is the end. It's mostly orange at the end. So it's like, it's amazing. It goes from yellow, then it gets darker, and this is, I guess, the color that is most prevalent, and then it turns back yellow and orange. So pretty cool. Pretty in love with this plant. I'm sure that you guys can see I'm pretty in love with it. She's a very beautiful monster. So I will let you know what happens. Part 3 is probably loading her up in the car and taking her to Boca Raton. So wish me luck, guys. Stay. Hi guys, it's Melissa. I know, I'm in the shade, I'm in the sun. I have a little situation that I wanted to talk to you about. So I just recently bought this. It's a Better Grow, almost bag baby, but sometimes they give it to you in a pot for $20. It's the RTH Xing Fang Dong, really nice, but I see a problem. And I think that even though she's not finished blooming and she has more buds to go, I see a problem that worries me. So the first thing that happened was these blooms opened and fell very, very quickly. So, you know, your orchid will tell you more or less. They'll give you signs that something is wrong, and it's up to you to take a good look. Another thing that I didn't like, I noticed there's some discoloration on this leaf. There's some discoloration on this leaf. Okay, discoloration on the leaves, sometimes you have it, sometimes, you know, it happens, a little sunburn, a little this, a little that. But this is very worrisome. You see this? And then I felt it, and it's mushy. So what do you think I'm gonna do? Emergency repot time. All right, so normally there is a proper time, and let me get my little stool. Normally there's a proper time for repotting. it's usually not when you bring your plant home from the store. Usually not. But guess what? Emergency repot time, because I see black mushy pseudobulb. Black mushy pseudobulb. That's so much fun. I just take my and I'm gonna spray it down. I always spray it down with Phizan. Phizan, come on out. Phizan 20, guys. Every time I'm gonna use a surface, I spray it down, I wash it down. You never know. And this will help. It will help. Phizan has a lot of good qualities for a lot of things. So, just preventative. Always wash your tools. Some people do it with alcohol, and I do it with alcohol, but then if there's something like this, after this, I'm gonna torch these. I'm gonna torch them. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. So, put the tag somewhere where you're not gonna forget it, because that happens so much. So right off the bat, I don't see anything. I see a lot of roots. Some people wear gloves when they do this. See this drives me bonkers. So you have styrofoam, fine. You have bark, fine. You have moss in the very center. So that's the only thing. When you get a bag baby, I know people that leave them in those, leave them in this setup for a very long time, but some of them, not all, come with a ball of moss right in the middle, which can be, look, not great. So these are already coming off. That was sad. But you see, this started to blast. Now, I don't know if these three are gonna blast. It may be, but sometimes you gotta make a decision. Are you gonna save a bloom for a little while, or are you gonna try to save your plants? So in the long run, you want to save your plant. So what I'm doing now is I am removing the ball of moss, because you don't want that there. Gently try to remove the old medium, and we're gonna get down to where I could see if I could figure out where the problem is coming from. So just kind of tickle, 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 and some of these pieces just come right off. And I'm surprised I still see a lot of good roots. This was a pretty new piece that I'm wondering if there's anything inside the sheaths, because guys, remember, these sheaths are here to be a protector for your new pseudobulb while it's growing. When your pseudobulb is done growing and has hardened up, it doesn't need that protection. So this will just dry itself up. But guess what happens? When it doesn't serve that protection, it's just dry and flaky, easy for bugs to come in and wreak havoc. So I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but it looks like she bloomed from this pseudobulb. And now I'm gonna cut this part off. Totally dry. So you kind of want to get to fresh, clean tissue. I got to it. Okay, the pseudobulb next to it. Okay, so this is green in the center. Green in the center. That's a good sign. So maybe, I don't know exactly what happened, but that pseudobulb seems to be the only one that was infected. So I'm happy about that. You want to see, sometimes if you see rings and weird things like that, you got to be very, very, very careful. Very careful. So I'm peeling away the dried up sheaths as much as I can. See, the leaf was otherwise looking fine. This leaf looked pretty perfect. But then the rot. So, yeah. Maybe I should have washed my hands in between. But I'm gonna spray her down. I still am not 100% sure about the bottom of these pseudobulbs. I want to make sure. And I know you don't want to add water to the mix sometimes when you're dealing with possible rot, but there's no other way that I can peel away and clean. And this is, remember, this is an emergency situation. See there, I just found more moss. More moss, more moss, more moss. And I definitely don't want to stick her in a pot with moss. All right, peeling, 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 peeling. I believe that the proper thing for me to do, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I take the risk of losing. Woo. All right, this pseudobulb looks questionable, so I'm going to cut it. It seemed fine, but it had a little bit of black marks on it, so why take the risk? She has a lot. This is a pretty big bag baby. She has a lot. Everything else looks pretty good. So I am gonna spray her. I am gonna attempt to repot her and cross my fingers. But like I was saying, the proper thing to do to make sure you give her the most advantage possible is to cut this and cut this. But it's up to you. You take the risk of possibly losing the plant. I just got her. I don't have any sentimental feeling for her yet. So I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna leave it as it is. I'm gonna try to pot her up like this after I spray her. I kind of have the perfect pot to do so. This is from Bangjong. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spray her. If there's any roots that are like hanging by a string, you can remove that. Remove that. Don't take the chance. Okay? So I don't think there's anything else that needs to be removed. I cleaned my bulbs. There's no sign of pests, any kind of infestation, no scale. I definitely can't see anything else on the flowers that will indicate thrips, the evil thrips. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, you know, I guess it happens. Maybe there was a wound and bacteria got in there or whatever, but I believe I've caught it in time. I've cut to the clean tissue. So what I want to do is I'm going to spray her, and then I'm going to add my trusty cinnamon, where that kind of just seals things up. So let me get my spray. I have all my sprays ready to go. Spray, spray, spray. So I don't think that I'm using the same one. I have like 5 of these. I have one for my fungicide. I have one for insecticide. I have one for Physan. I have one for fertilizer. They're all labeled. I know some of you are like, she just pulled that one out and said it was Physan. Well, no. So how I'm going to attach her is by the rhizome. And you know what? I may even leave her with a few rocks on top and mostly bare root and give her a chance to breathe. So I'm going to take a zip tie, pass it through the holes, and secure your orchid. You do not want a wobbly orchid ever. Ever. What's that saying? A wobbly orchid is a dead orchid. I know, how dramatic. It's so dramatic. Just like my hair. My hair and the humidity is drama. It's drama. So put her in a way where the zip ties can kind of grab her by the middle, by the center. And I'm not even gonna worry. Let's have her close to this edge, close to the other edge. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm gonna just settle her in. I'm gonna settle her in. Of course, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm touching her right after I sprayed her. Pull the zip tie carefully, little by little, because you don't want to be hurting those roots. Okay. I almost forgot about my lizard. This is being filmed right after the lizard debacle. That, yeah, I'm sure that's going to be funny. It's okay. You guys can laugh all you want. I give you permission. But I hope it's not getting comfortable. Okay, so where I have cut, I'm going to add just a little bit more for extra, for good measure. A little bit more cinnamon. Woof, woof, woof. It went up my nose. Just a little more. All right. I know I can be silly. So that's it. I'm gonna take a little bit of my lava rock, just a little, and place some on top for that stability. And a little rinse. That's where you can play around, move her, tighten her if you need to. That's pretty much it. Now we wish her well. We put her tag back in, and I hope that emergency surgery will work. I don't know where that came from, but sometimes, guys, with orchids, you learn that you gotta act quickly. You can't sit here and give it a week and ponder, because if it's something like black rot, it'll get your orchid quickly. It will spread to the pseudobulbs, and then before you know it, you literally have no orchid. So I'm crossing my fingers. If it worked, we will see, and I will keep you updated. I know that many other growers at home are like, cut the buds off, cut the bloom spike off. You shouldn't care about the bloom. You need to save the orchid. If I lose the orchid, I lose the orchid. Whatever. Let's see what happens. If you feel like that about it, then you can just do what I did and leave them on and see what happens. Or maybe I look at it tomorrow and I see, oh no, it's still declining, then maybe I'll cut it off. But I think she'll be okay. I have a good feeling about her, and I do really well with my other back babies. I think Better Grow is awesome. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's at a store for too long or whatever, and it happens, and you gotta jump in and do everything you can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you did learn something, or if there's something that I didn't mention and maybe you know and I should know. Let me know, and I will see you next time. Make time for things you love.